Hello, like-minded people. Welcome to my channel. I want you to feel at home, to feel comfortable here. Please remember to hit the like button when you come in. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment and tell a friend. And tell a friend to tell a friend. And please come back. You're always welcome. Thank you.
Hey, good people, how are you? Welcome to Passionately Intrigued Arts with Tracy. Today, I want to make some Coyote crack. Yes, better known as, what do they call it? Cowboy candy. Also known as candied jalapenos. So I'm going to take you over here and show you my ingredients, and we're going to get started. See how this turns out. Hold on. So first, let me tell you the ingredients, okay? You start out with 20 large jalapenos. Well, I don't know if there's 29. I didn't count. I chopped up all my jalapenos that I got from the community garden. And I know that's more than 20. It's quite a bit. But we're going to go with that. And then you use 2 cups of apple cider vinegar, which I have right here. And then it actually calls for 2 cups of granulated sugar and 2 cups of packed brown sugar. Recipes vary. I've watched quite a few. There's several variances. So what I have done is I used 1.5 cups of brown sugar mixed with light sugar and then 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. So I'm only using a total of 3 cups. I'm going to turn that on. And then you'll also need a teaspoon. Oh, it said tablespoon. Did it say tablespoon? No, teaspoon. I'm sorry. A teaspoon of turmeric. I have some organic turmeric that I'm using. You'll need a teaspoon of garlic powder. But instead of garlic powder, I'm going to add fresh chopped garlic when I add my jalapenos. And that's about 5 cloves. I love garlic. So you can vary. You just have to keep the consistency of the acidity, which is the what you call this stuff? Yeah, that. Apple cider vinegar. So I have the 2 cups of that. And then, a 1/4 teaspoon of celery seeds, and then 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So I'm not using the cayenne pepper because I've kept seeds in most of these. I have quite a few different types. Well, not quite a few. I know there's jalapeno in here. I think there's chili peppers, and there's a few habanero. I kept some of the seeds, but not all. I'm not adding cayenne pepper to this. I believe it's going to be hot enough. So I've mixed my powdered ingredients in here. The turmeric, the garlic, not garlic powder, the celery seeds, and a teaspoon of salt. Okay? Oh, and I used sea salt. They recommend not to use iodine salt. Don't use table salt. So sea salt, Himalayan salt, other types of salt. Okay, so I've turned this on, and what you start with is the sugar and the vinegar. Stir this and let it cook for 4 to 5 minutes. Now, I got my instructions here. Let me see. I got to bring it to a boil. That's what I got to do. So I'm going to bring this to a boil. Wait a minute. In a large pot over high heat, add all other ingredients. So I've got to add the powders also. And bring this to a boil. And then I'm going to let it simmer for 5 minutes. So let me let that take place, and I will return. So the time is up. I turned my heat down and let it simmer for 5 minutes. Now you add in your ingredients, your peppers, and I'm using the fresh garlic, but it calls for powder. It's up to you. So I add these in, and then I bring it back to a rolling boil. Uh-oh, there's a pepper that wasn't cut up. Gotta cut that up, and I gotta cut that up. And bring it back to, let's see, a rolling boil, and then let it simmer. After the rolling boil, let it simmer for 4 minutes exactly, it says. So Let's stir this up. And then over here I have my jars heating. I'm going to take those out in a few minutes. The jars and the lids and rims. So we're going to turn that heat up and bring that back to a rolling boil. Let me cut these. I didn't cut these. This was a yellow pepper. Oh, I had yellow peppers in here too. So yellow, habanero, jalapeno, and chili peppers, I think they're called. I don't know what. The long skinny ones. I really don't know what they're called. There's several different kinds. I don't know what kind I had. So we're going to bring this back up. It's going to take a little time. So I shall be back. In the meantime, I'm going to take my lids and jars out. I can do that now. I hear it. It sounds like it's about to come to a boil. Let me stir it though. You got to continue to stir because you got all that sugar in there. Let me come up a little closer, I guess. So I don't know how much it's going to make. I got a couple pint jars in here. It's not going to make that much because you push it down in here and fill the jars. So I did 2 pint jars. I did a half a pint jar, and I've got a quarter pint jar in here. So I'm going to start with the quarter, the small one. I'm going to fill up, that's this one. I'm going to fill up the half pint, which is, let me see if I can get it out. Oh, the lid is in there. Got to get that lid out. That's the half pint. So it's coming to a boil. And you want a rolling boil. A rolling boil is when you stir it and it's still boiling. So it's not quite rolling yet. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Cowhide. Yeah, Cowboy candy. Coyote crack. Sounded interesting to me. See, it's not at a rolling boil yet. And I've got it set at medium high. Yeah, medium high. It's coming, it's coming. There's the, let's see. That's the rolling boil. So I'm going to turn this heat down to low. Set my timer for 4 minutes because I said 4 minutes exactly. Okay? We're going to let that do its thing for 4 minutes. We'll be back. Alright, that 4 minutes is almost up. That has been simmering. They have reduced. I don't think it's going to make that much. And I'm sure I'm not going to need all those jars. So I will probably start with the half pint jar and then a pint. We're going to see. Okay, so what you do from here is you use a slotted spoon and you scoop your jalapenos without the juice into the jar, filling to what they said, a 1/4 inch ring space. So let's see this. Oh, too much. Well, actually, it may not be too much because you push them down in here. So we're going to leave it like that. Okay, now I'm going to use the pint jar. Oh, I didn't turn that off. Fill this up, or see if it will fill up. And you could turn your fan on because it's kind of strong in here. I'm not going to turn it on because it probably will interfere with the volume of the video. The jar's a little warm. Ooh, it's a little warm, a little warm, a little warm. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, that's quite filled, but you push the jalapenos down in there. So I can fit more. Oh, God, that's hot. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit more in here. Okay. Now, I didn't push this down quite far enough. I'm going to push these down a little bit more and see if I can get some more. Yeah. I can get some more peppers in here. So you see it's not leaving much. Push those down. So what's left in here, I have this half a pint. This quarter. Not half a pint, quarter pint. Let's see what I can get out of here. Just a few more in there, and that's going to be perfect. And I didn't use my funnel because I needed to use both these hands and turn this pot. A couple more. Got to get them all. A couple more right there. Okay, good enough, good enough, good enough. Push those down in there. Okay? So now what you do is bring this pot of brine, or whatever you want to call it, back to a boil, a rolling boil. And then you let that, bring it to a boil, and you'll let it, take your heat back down once it comes to a rolling boil, and then let it simmer for 6 to 7 minutes. So I'll do that, and I'll be back in 6 to 7 minutes. It's almost about to go off the timer, and so what I'll do next is use my ladle and pour into these containers and fill it 1/4 inch from the top. 3 more seconds and we're done with the simmering. Okay, is that hot? Yeah, let me get a pot holder. I had to turn the fan on, y'all. I hope y'all can hear me good. I had to turn it on because it's strong in here. So I'm just going to tilt this, and I've got the first jar set, which is the pint. Get this brine and fill her up. I have a bigger ladle. I should have used that, but it doesn't matter. And you have to make sure you cover the jalapenos, the peppers. A little bit more. Okay, I'll leave it right there. Let's see. Put it in this one, and then get the bubbles out. I failed to do that in my other videos. And so now it looks like it could use a little more brine. So I'm going to put a little more in there and call it a day for that one. Now let's put it in this one. Let's move this. Move this. Fill this one up. Let's see. That's pretty good. Now let's do this tiny one. It's not going to take much. A little bit more. Okay. So now I'm going to clean the rims with the vinegar. The rims of these jars with some white vinegar on a towel. Put the lids on and the rims. Finger tight, don't make it too tight. They're hot, so be careful. Okay, and the rest of this brine you can save. So I'm glad I have this extra jar, and I'm going to pour the rest in here, and you can use it as a marinade for your meats or a vinaigrette for your salads. So I'm just going to fill this jar up with what I have left. And there's just a tiny bit in here. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to water boil this, but I'm going to. Okay, so now let me move this one over here. Turn it on high so that it comes to a boil. This water is hot already. Where are my jar lifters? Place these in this hot water, and it's got to come over the jar at least an inch to 2 inches. So I'm going to have to add a little. No, I'm not. I thought I'd have to add more water. I'm not. So I'm just going to place these in here. Uh-oh, that one turned upside down. And I guess you can't see. If I bring the camera a little closer, you can. And I got this one turned over. Let me see if I can get it upright. Oh, wrong way. Turn over. Okay. Maybe okay. Turn over. There we go. Bring this to a boil and let it boil. No, then simmer it for 10 to 15 minutes. And I shall return. Yeah, I took these two out because I forgot. I forgot to get the air bubbles out. You know, I'm new to the game, but I'm trying to be true to the game. I forget things, and so let me do that. Let me, I guess, get bubbles out. I better wipe that again. Better wipe it again. Get the bubbles out. And wipe this off again. Okay, let's try this again. Ooh, ouch. Okay, put them back in here. Set this timer. I'm gonna set it for 15 minutes. And I'll be back once again. How y'all doing? Time to take these out. I left them in for 15 minutes. It said 15 minutes if you have pint-sized jars. Wait a minute. Yeah, 10 minutes if it's half pint. So, you know, I got a couple of pints, half pint and a quarter pint. So I just left it for 15 minutes. Let's take these out. Now that's the brine. That's just the juices that were left over that I can use for my meat marinating or vinaigrette. Now here's the pint of Coyote crack. Isn't that pretty? Look at there. My lighting isn't good. I gotta bring this camera over. Hold on. I don't know if this is any better, but I'll show you this one. Let's take this half a pint out. Is that a half a pint? Yeah, I guess. Oh, don't that look yummy? Yes. And then I'll take this tiny one out. Wait for those pings. Ping, ping, ping. And now what they say is that you cannot, not that you cannot, that you should let this sit overnight for at least 24 hours. Oh, ping, 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 I heard it. And then the flavor is better if you leave it sit for at least 2 weeks, even better for a month. So we're not going to taste it tomorrow. Another ping. Not going to taste it tomorrow. But what I have done last night, I cooked some roasted garlic okra with some smoked paprika. Got a little bit left, and I'm going to pour some of this Cowboy crack brine on here and see what that may taste like. Just want to see the heat of this, which isn't the peppers, it's the brine. And ooh, it's got a little kick. It's got a little kick. See what that tastes like. If I can get enough on this fork, hold on. Don't be too greedy. Let me be nice. Let me be kind. Here, you can have the first bite. Oh shucks now. Okay, let me get me some. It's got a kick, and that's not even the peppers. That's just the brine. So I would say that the Coyote crack, Cowboy candy, candied jalapenos, whatever you want to call them, they're going to be delicious if you like hot. And I love hot. One more bite. That's good. Oh, that's real good. Even on the okra. So like I said, they said you can use these juices, this brine. See how thick it got? And it'll get even thicker as it cools off in those jars. You can use this on whatever you want to. Peace and love. Hope you learned something, because I'm learning as I'm growing, learning as I'm doing. This is the first time I've done Coyote crack. I hope you enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, do so. If you hit the notification bell, you'll see all the different videos that I have up and coming. Check out playlist. I have a variety of playlists in all the different categories because I do quite a few things. I'm a crafter and artist first and foremost. Gardener, wannabe, beginner next. I do a lot of things. Check me out. Subscribe if you haven't. If you haven't, I love you, OGs. I love you. Newcomers, I love you too. Babbling, peace, and love. Until next time, deuces. As always, I thank you for your time. I thank you for stopping by, and much appreciation for your support. Click the notification bell for intriguing content. Thank you.